Destroy the child. Corrupt them all.
Alright, I'm with the author of Destiny Betrayed, James DiEugenio, a JFK researcher, and we're going to discuss the JFK case. But before talking about what happened with the assassination, I'd like to ask you just about conspiracies in general, because there does seem to be a stigma categorically about the topic of conspiracies. And if you could address for a second why it's important to research JFK and why there should not be a stigma categorically with conspiracies.
Well, first of all, what I'm going to be talking to you about is not conspiracy theory. These are all, we're going to be talking about as facts, all right? And my book has 2,100 footnotes in it, and most of them are the primary sources. So the idea that this is theory is simply not true. What's a theory is the Warren Commission. And the Warren Commission is the wildest, most fantastic theory, okay, that anybody's ever devised. All right. The idea of conspiracy theory started in 1967. If you take a look at the New York Times, the word conspiracy theory wasn't used that often before the Kennedy assassination. Okay, it was after the Kennedy assassination, especially when the CIA sent out its memorandum in 1967 about how to treat critics of the Warren Report, that the phrase conspiracy theory started going through the roof. Okay, the usage of that term started going through the roof because, of course, they wanted to brand anybody who disagreed with the Warren Commission as, you know, some kind of offbeat loon, okay, who wasn't supposed to be taken seriously. And they were very successful in that, I have to admit. You know, in reality, okay, which, you know, is the way I look at the Kennedy assassination, the conspiracy theory there are some that are not to be taken seriously, but by and large, most of the people who research this for a length of time, you know, come to some pretty credible conclusions about, you know, what is right and what is wrong about this case. And like I said, I don't deal in theories. I only deal in facts. Okay, I mean, that's why, you know, my website gets a lot of hits. That's why people want to talk to me. That's why I go to these conferences, because, you know, I've gone through most of the material, and I managed to separate out what's the good information from what's the bad. And there's a lot of bad information out there. Sorry. I'll be the first person to say that. It takes literally a lifetime, you know, to separate out. I've been at this full-time for 22 years, something like that. You know, so if I'm a post-PhD candidate, okay, as far as the JFK case goes, you know. So, and I managed to separate out, you know, what's the good information from what's the bad information, you know. And there's no doubt, before we even get started, that Kennedy was killed by conspiracy is not a theory, it's a fact. Okay, and but the problem is that this case has been so politicized, you know, by the powers that be, by the mainstream media, all right, that you're not supposed to say that in public, okay, even though it's true, all right. And anytime somebody says that in public, you know, you're a conspiracy theorist. No, the fact that JFK was killed by conspiracy is not in any way a theory. It's a fact. And anybody who knows this case, which very few people know very well, you know, there's a lot of people who know it a little, there's a lot of people who know it a little bit better, but to know it really well takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, which most people don't want to spend on it. All right? But the fact that he was killed by conspiracy is a fact. That's a fact. All right?
Yeah, absolutely. They throw the baby out with the bathwater. The term has a stigma on it, but you could really say a covert operation, and they've been happening since Kennedy was killed, and they were happening before Kennedy was killed. And I'd like to talk about...
Make fun of me all you want. This is their plan, people. They're frickin' interdimensional invaders. In my blood,